What perfectly innocent search turned out to be porn? Wasteland was a popular airsoft gear website in Norway back in my young days, and you would write Wasteland. No, Wasteland. Com is something completely different, and I would often write com out of habit on my mother's laptop lol. Spoiler for the curious, it's BDSM. Hey spoiler tag, damn it, you're ruining the surprise. When I was younger and too dumb to remember to bookmark sites, I would just go to them by searching them or typing the domain name in the address bar. One time, I tried going to Game FAQs and missed a letter, which was how I learned that GamFaxes was a porn site. Before search engines, it was a thing for porn sites, betting and scam sites to buy domains for misspelled and similar names to popular websites. Great way to target kids making typos. What a market. Not a fully innocent search, but back in about 2004 my colleague was trying to convince me that Snoop Dogg did a porn film. This was before Google really censored and filtered searches, and when he googled Snoop Doggy dog porn, well, Google focused on the dog porn aspect of the search. A co-worker was trying to describe this dog she saw to my dad. She googled big black ducking dog on the work computer. Yeah. Good way to find the dog you saw. Blueberry cream pie. I was like 35 before I knew cream pie had dirty connotations. This sounds like one of those things that I would think about late at night staring at the ceiling preventing me from falling asleep. How many people have I told that I can't get enough cream peas? Apostrophe. Late to this, but hopefully will make a few laugh. When I was in lower primary, about 7 or 8, me and another girl were doing a project. No idea what for, but we needed a picture of Prince Albert. So we Google searched an image and we were using the one computer connected to the fancy ass new whiteboard we had gotten in our classes at the time. So basically me and this girl exposed about 38-year-olds to a huge screen full of dick pics with piercings. Had to show the teacher that when you search Price Albert it would come up again cause she didn't believe me. Lol, I can still remember her face of regret. Edit. Thanks for the awards guys. Blonde cowgirl. I was looking for character art for a Western TTRPG. I facepalmed pretty hard. Based on your username. You weren't too upset. Could be its origin story. There's an outdoor retailers in the UK called Blacks. So I typed Blacks and hit CTRL+ENTER. Thankfully, www.blacks.com now has a redirect. But it did not 15 years ago. It also did not provide the hiking boots I was looking for. And nor was it a site you wanted to open in full view in a university computer lab. Blacks Photography is also the name of the biggest photo processing company in Canada. I sent my mother to Blacks.com to get some photos developed. Oops. I worked at a Blacks competitor back in the day and went to Blacks.com with the client to do a price match. That was a bit of a hoopsie. I teach ESL, and when a student asks me what X word means, I sometimes use Google Images to show them, as opposed to just looking up the word. It helps them remember. I got asked what the word string meant by a class of 5th grade boys, and it seemed like an innocent enough word. The image results showed girls in string bikinis. It wasn't porn, but it was a bit racy for kids that aged, and at that time of day, and in that setting. I don't use Google Images for kids anymore. In Spanish, the word for dental floss can also be used as a slang for string bikini. I had the same experience as you did searching for dental floss and how to use it. Kind of like how thong, at least in the US, is not a type of shoe. School project when I was younger. Had to do a PowerPoint on the seasons. So I typed in hot to Google Images. I learned a lot that day. Little Billy didn't want to work on seasons anymore. That was the day Little Billy became Billy. When my family first got the internet like 20 years ago now, I remember we were just having fun looking stuff up, and my little brother wanted to look up his Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles toys and see what other ones they had. That seemed pretty simple to me, so I figured we'll just look up the company that made them and go from there. The company that made them was called Playmates. When we first got the internet, my brother literally looked up stuff on a search engine, and it was all porn. I think everything was porn back in the mid 90s. I first got introduced to the wild woolly web in 1994. Previously, I'd merely messed around with friends AOL trivia and game rooms. But that was it. When I married my sweetie, he worked at a major university and had access to everything. I quickly discovered that it was easier to stumble onto porn sites than to find what you actually wanted. Searched Google images for pterodactyl. Scrolled down and was visually assaulted by a picture of a naked woman getting railed by a pterodactyl. Can anyone actually get off on that instead of laughing their heads off? You underestimate me. This makes me think of a post I read some years ago. This guy was filling out a test in school and had to list his ethnicity. He Google searched on Caucasian but misspelled Caucasian. Hilarious. Showing my age. But White House. Com used to be porn. Found out when I was in Catholic school on the one computer in the library that had internet. I got in so much trouble at first. Then everyone was really nice to me because they saw the simple mistake. It was a whirlwind of emotions. Like the school called my parents to tell them I got in trouble for looking at porn. This was before people generally had cell phones. So my dad was called at work. Left work. But was pissed. Drove 40 minutes ducking pissed at me. In the meantime they figured out it was an honest accident. I still remember the daggers my dad was staring at me when he walked in. The principal pulled him aside and told him the situation. Best part was apparently to check to see if I was telling the truth or not. The principal and librarian took a blanket and made like a privacy fort over the computer. Both of them got under it and essentially looked at porn to confirm I was innocent. Oh. A girl in my class did this in college. She was, of course, so shocked she called the entire class's attention to it. Lol. Showing some age too, but dicks. Com wasn't always Dick's Sporting Goods. Made the mistake only once. Back in the late 90s, I was giving a talk on the internet and dial-up tech to a few hundred people, and as a demo wanted to show White House. Gov, but by habit of typing com after everything, went to the com site, which ended up on a huge screen while I was facing the crowd, talking, waiting for the site to load on dial-up. Oh no, another person had this exact same incident when typing up the same website in primary school while looking for the pet of a president or something like that. White House. Com got me in trouble in middle school whilst researching the president's cat's name for a school project in the computer lab at school with sound on. Lol. White House. Com kid here. 2. School library. Very unfortunate. Clearly parental controls weren't a thing in our day. Lol. Back in the day when I used Hotmail, I accidentally typed Hotmail. Nearly had a heart attack because I was 14 and on a public computer in the library. Back in the day when I used Hotmail. This makes me feel old because I still use Hotmail. Edit. Didn't expect to come back 3 hours later to see 50 replies with a variation of me too. And one 550 karma on a throwaway comment. To make you feel older, I actually thought it didn't exist anymore. I was a little young to realize I needed to specify sporting goods after Dick's. Did you know that the Dick's in New York is the biggest one in the world? Apostrophe. No, it's the one right outside Chicago. I'm telling you. Apostrophe. Let's just look it up. Google's biggest dicks in the world. Opens the front camera. Virgin was booking a flight. 2 hours later I still hadn't booked a flight. This is even funnier that you comment this 8 minutes later. Socks. Apostrophe. This was in the good old days before Microsoft fixed that Bing algorithm that was really good at finding porn. Edit. I mean the good old days of Bing porn. Y'all. Not the good old days of search engines. Back in the day things were mad. Hard. FDFY. When I was in elementary school we were to complete an assignment on a foreign land. I chose to do mine on the capital of Iraq, Baghdad. Being around 11 or 12 years old I must have missed the H, and what I saw still haunts me to this day. On the bright side, I'll never forget how to spell Baghdad. I'm confused. What did you actually search? Context would make it Baghdad. I don't want to know what porn that leads to. Somewhere between age 12 and 14. Searched up 30th. Because the new 30 movie starring Vin Diesel was coming out. To find websites back then it was pretty normal just to type in name of the thing. Instead of using a search engine. Ended up overloading my parents' computer with porn viruses and they had to take it in to get it wiped and reset. I made this mistake with White House. Looking you Misty Pokeball from Pokemon. First image was her giving birth to Pokeballs. Edit. No, I'm not giving links, sources, or sending it. I saw it when I was 13 and was ducking mortified on why anyone would draw such stuff. 17 years later I had a helmet who would kick my door in to show us gore furry trap porn. He had 3 TB of trap porn. I want to die. Edit 2. You people are sad sick ducks. What the duck? Welcome to the internet. Still though, what the duck? Early 2000s I worked at a machine shop and I was tasked with helping revamp website and search results. One of our big products went by several different names. Freeze plugs, Welsh plugs and expansion plugs. Was sitting with the owner, running searches to see where we ranked on Google and others. Expansion plugs did not return the results we were looking for until you diversified your business. How to deal with hotness. Deep search led me to porn. Just wanted to cool off. Did you cool off before I reached porn? No. During porn? That got me hotter. After nut? Yeah. Also for no reason I regretted it. Anything in the old Lemuel days. Disney? Porn. Metallica? Also porn. Except porn. That was Shrek. Gee, this album has a large file size. And it's horse porn. It always was. I tried to look up the word brassiere because I didn't know how to spell it. Turns out I spelled it so wrong that it was closer to brazzers, and well, you could guess how that turned out. He fixes the cable. Don't be fatuous, Jeffrey. When I wanted to find a picture of one of those no under 18 signs for a school project and searched 18 plus pics. Why would you need a no under 18 sign for a school project? Because no under 18s allow it. Manhole cover. What? He said manhole cover. GIMP. GIMP is a software, which if I recall correctly, is millisecond paint on steroids. Apparently GIMP has a second meaning. I'd go so far as to compare it to Photoshop. Amazing free program. But yeah, you need that exact address. Back in the day, I think the Google image search was for Hoovis rancherus. But if you accidentally spelled it wrong, the first image of the search results was a picture of a guy ducking a dog. Yes, really. Speed typing roulette. Polish stripper. Wanted to fix my flaws. I was just searching BBC. How to reduce friction. Can't fight the friction intensifies. What are you doing? Step friction. Not porn as such, but I had to fix one of the dials on my mixer, so I typed gain knob into Amazon. I ended up getting books about how to grow my penis from the makers of Expand Darn. Presenting gain knob. God Evler abilities. I forgot they had synchronize. Wasn't there some dude on Reddit that did a tier list of the Pokemon he found most sexually attractive? That was a quality post. Is it bad that I low-key want to see that train wreck? If you have a link, could you please send it my way? Isabelle from Animal Crossing. If you scroll a bit up, you know it's bad when the first filter you get is from DeviantArt. Funny story. When I was 18, I was given my first laptop as a moving out / graduation present. Being 18 and freshly on my own, I didn't have a way to do laundry besides the laundromat. I was in a rough neighborhood because, hey, cheap rent, so I would go back home to do laundry. My dad and brother didn't have a computer, so we would do weekly rotations with my laptop. So, after a week, I bring my laptop home. It's running slow. So I go to delete the history. Cookies. Blah blah, and the history is filled with porn. Was it embarrassing to see what my brother and or father were using to get there? Rocks off. Yes. But also kinda funny. I'm twisted. I know. I'm reading through it, and it's the typical stuff. Threesomes. Lesbian. Anal. Blah blah. But in the middle of it all is one that reads creepy, and that's it. This struck me as particularly funny, that after some intense fapping, one of them, at this point I strongly suspected my brother, got hungry and wanted to make a pie. Me being a smartass, I click on what I thought was a recipe, so I could make it for him and subtlety say, "Hey, I know what you've been doing, clear the damned history." But instead I found more porn. So that was how I learned the terminology of creepy. Edit, a word. Wow, so many twists and turns. I misspelt Large Hadron Collider as Large Hadron Collider while doing an image search via Google. Mr. Dark, did you buy the t-shirt from CERN that says I survived the Hadron Collider? Apostrophe. Cognitive Behavioral Therapy, otherwise acronymed CBT. Haven't searched it, but R34 ruined Hollow Knight Hornet. Yeesh. Brings a whole new meaning to Silk Song Wen. Antibacterial squirter. Couldn't remember the name for hand sanitizer pump. Antibac squirter should definitely be a porn name. I was trying to find smiling animals for a PowerPoint project in high school. Animal Smile turned up an image of a ball python in a woman's vagina. The kid next to me thought it was hilarious. Granny pictures. Saw a video of an grandma take a football to the face and found it hilarious. Went to find the video in Ike the next day to show my friends and was met with hairy naked 90-year-olds. Next time try. Granny takes ball to the face and see if that improves your odds of finding the video you were looking for. A friend of mine worked at an infant school, and one day the children were looking for images of things that can be used to carry water. One poor lad googled jugs and ran crying from the computer saying that he hadn't done anything wrong. Since when can infants use a computer, let alone know that boots are anything other than a source of food? Infant school, you know, ages 5 to 8. You're not from England, I guess. My mom's name. So, what is her name? White House. I love Dragon Ball Z. Yes. Let me search up Goku. Comlink. Com. This is not something to search up at school. Will Kajob ever recover from this traumatic incident? And how will he stay out of trouble? Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. Grandfather clock, but you forget the L. I really did not need that mental image. I can't get the wrinkledness out of my mind. How to get along with stepsister. Stepsister stuck in dryer. Step 1. Sigh and unzip. In Persona 5 there is a character that shouts for real all the time because they didn't want constant swear words. Well, apparently he did say duck one time. So I was interested when he said this. Googling P5 Ryuji duck only gave porn. On work Wi-Fi. Good damn it. SCP-1471. Go to images and I can bet that at least one or the first 20 images will be porn. There are lots characters you can search up where the first results will be porn. There was a Hotbox Pizza where I used to live. Hotbox.com is not the address you want. I had just gotten into UGR and wanted to find out how to play. Everything was fine when I looked up monsters and spells. That all changed when I looked up traps. These days monsters isn't safe either. I was trying to find the Kale Signs BBG, Beachbody Guide, and thought it was called the BBW, Beachbody Workout. So yeah, I googled BBW workout at work because I was showing a colleague the program. Me and my friend were messing about. I thought it'd be funny to put into Google Ass Juice. Bad idea. We were 12. The Virgin Diarrhea vs the Chad Ass Juice. I was a kid searching band pictures back in the day. I decided to look up the band Orgy. What does show to mean? Oh no, even your ice was frightened by your mistake. I've posted this in the past, so I'll just repost it here. When I was a dumb kid in the mid-90s, the computer clock was wrong on the classroom computer. The World Wide Web, as everyone seemed to call it at the time, was very new to me, but I knew you could find this stuff out. But what website would it be on? My dumb duck little British brain decided BigBan.com or co.uk was a good idea. My first introduction to gay porn at around 8 years old. As a 10-year-old I loved Pokemon and especially Entry. I misspelled it and wrote hente, and next thing I know is Ash ducking me in the ass. Close enough. Olive oil. Extra virgin? Not anymore. We were French kids fan of WWE. So there's this dude called HHH. Triple H. So there must be other dudes named AAABBB. You end up searching 30 and there's a whole lot of results. I wonder what happened when he reached the K. My dad once was looking up a restaurant called Han Dynasty. Turns out their website was Han Dynasty net. But he went to Han Dynasty.com and found porn. Turns out Han Dynasty has the same letters in the same order as Handy Nasty. Nuggets. 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 Back in the early days of the internet, if you wanted to go to Dick's Sporting Goods official website, you had to type dicksportinggoods.com. I was looking for some Looney Tunes episodes featuring Granny. All I could find was Granny related porn. Had a science project around 6th grade where we had to do research on biomes or something, and I got Marshes, which when put into Google on the library computer turned up a porn star named Michelle Marsh. Fun times. Researching Moby Dick was incredibly frustrating. Leaving Dick and you got porn. Take it out and you got Moby the musician. FFS. At least you didn't get Moby's dick, I guess. Face Snook. I'm sure whoever bought that domain got rich quick when Facebook got tired of users' typos leading to porn. Back in the early 2000s I was searching for updates about the new Sid Meier's Civilization game. First hit back was hillbilly porn. Hillbilly porn got me laughing. A few years back I remember looking on Netflix for the comedy miniseries Love with Gillian Jacobs and Paul Rust. Instead I clicked on the movie Love, which was one of those art house movies filled with r/extra mile content right from the first scene. I guess not technically porn, but I couldn't tell you the difference. Please click subscribe if you enjoyed this video.